Fine. So hearty welcome. I believe my voice is loud, clear, and absolutely audible. Okay. So people, before we get into section 2 on the incomes, I thought, why not quickly revise what we did in section 1. Okay. In section 1, we walked through ILEAD part 1 index. I showed you what is the index and all. Then we walked through the Prometric SE part 1 index. I'm sure you're aware of that website and all. Then I gave you the breakup of EA part 1 examination questions. Examination will have 100 questions, of which 85 questions will be valued and 15 will be experimental. And then we learned about PTIN application, and those who have still not applied for PTIN, please remember that for writing the examination, you need Preparer Tax Identification Number, which Mudduga, the acronym is PTIN. So get the KM team's help, knowledge management team's help in getting that PTIN, because it will take like 3 or 4 weeks also, and sometimes you may get very quickly too. Then you should also connect with the KM team on scheduling the examination with the Prometric Center. The examination must be taken in a Prometric Center. So people who are watching us outside of Hyderabad, please check. Now that the Corona rules are also being relaxed, we still do not have any updates on where the examination will be held. But please stay connected with the KM team. Then the best part of this examination is that you get the passing scores immediately, no waiting period, okay? And the passing score will be from 105 to 130. Now, for 85 questions, assuming you answer all 85 questions right, then you get 130 marks. So, for you to get that basic 105 marks, you have to answer at least 70 questions right. Then, all that we suggest you to do is bank on the class notes, because we give the best of the class notes, best notes on the individual taxation for the enrolled agent examination. This is the best notes somebody can give, and we have the best MCQs in place. And above us, if there's anything that you still want to refer to, there's only one material, that is IRS Publication 17. But for you to pass the examination, our material, the class notes, and the MCQs are more than enough. Having said that, we get into the section 1, page 1 of Form 1040 overview. Okay. Now in this, we covered chapters by chapter. Each section will have some chapters. And here is the first chapter that we did. USA topography is what we did. And in USA topography, we learned about the state abbreviations. 50 plus 2 states. Then we learned about the tax-free states. There are 9 tax-free states, right? FAST NW is the acronym that we gave. What is FAST NW? Florida, Alaska, South Dakota, and then TNW twice. Tennessee, Texas, Nevada, New Hampshire, Washington, and then Wyoming. Then states subject to city taxes. What are the states that are subject to city taxes? KMNOP, Kentucky, Michigan, New York, Ohio, and then Pennsylvania. Then states subject to county taxes. Here we came up with the acronym IIM. Indiana, Iowa, and then Maryland. Then we went on to learn the time zone map. We understood that there are 6 time zones in the US, right? Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, and then you have the 2 islands, Alaska and then Hawaii. That was on topography. Then we went on to learn the accounting periods and accounting methods. Just go back and just take a look at your US topography notes once. Okay. Then we went on to learn accounting periods and then accounting methods. Now, in the accounting periods, we looked at these 2 types of years. Now, what is an accounting period? It is basically the tax year, and tax year are of 2 types. Calendar year, and then you have fiscal year. Now, calendar year is something that begins on Jan 1st and ends on December 31st. But fiscal year is something that does not end on December 31st. Then The types of accounting methods, there are two types of accounting methods. One is cash method, the other one is accrual method. Now in the accounting methods, we wrote that table. That table is very important, okay? Income, expenses, right? Cash and then accrual. In case of cash method, income is recognized only when it is received and expense is recognized only when it is paid. Now in case of accrual, income is recognized only when it is earned and expenses are realized only when it is incurred. Then we went on to learn about the constructive receipt of income. We understood the meaning, we understood the examples, debt cancellation, right? I mean, there should not be any restriction on that. Then somebody else collecting on our behalf, the garnished wages, the bank taking it off. All those are constructive receipt of income. And then comes exception. There was one small exception that we wrote, Series C bonds, okay? Only until maturity, only at the time of maturity it will be considered as income. But until then you got to ignore it. And then we went on to learn about the forms. Two types of forms, right? The change of accounting period and then the accounting method. There are two types of forms. One is form 1128 and the other one is form 3115. Then we went on to learn about the due dates. Due dates. Every form filing will have a due date. Now in the due dates, we first learned about the individual tax forms. That is Form 1040, this is for US citizens, residents or nationals. And then we went on to learn about 1040NR, which is for non-residents. And then we learned about 1040X. 1040X, okay, this is for amending. And we wrote the timeline also for this, right? 3 years from the original due date or 2 years from the date the person paid the tax, whichever is later, okay? 1040 and 1040NR. The due date is April 15th, and in case you are not able to file your taxes on April 15th, you can request for additional time by filing an extension, by requesting additional 6 months, and that is going to be on October 15th, and the extension request is made on form 4868. Then we went on to learn about the business tax forms. I think I told you already, when you are doing business taxes, remember always, these 5 types of, business taxes that you need to know. One, as a sole proprietor. I mean, this is going to be in part 2, but just to, create that interest, that curiosity, that, and also, in case you are already there in business taxes, you know this already, okay. One is sole proprietor. Next one is LLC. LLC or then multiple member LLC or partnership. And then S Corp and then C Corp. These 5 things are very, very important when it comes to business taxes. Now, here in business tax forms, we learn about 1120, 1120S, Form 1065 and then 7004. Now, 1120 is something for C corporations. 1120S is for S corporations. 1065 is for the partnerships, okay, and 7004 is the extension period. And I think I told you SPL, okay, special, pass-through entities are special, and for them the 3 letters, the due date is March 15th. And if you want, additional time to file those 3 tax returns, take another 6 months, and then the due date will be September 15th. But for C corporation, the due date will be April 15th. And Form 7004 is the extension form for these business tax returns. Then we went on to learn the other tax forms also. Form 706, Form 709, Form 1041 and then Form 990. Form 706 is for estate, Form 709 is for gift tax return, 1041 for estates and trust, and 990 is for tax exempt organizations. Then we went on to learn about the reporting forms. FBAR and then FATCA, Foreign Bank Accounting Report, and then Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, Form 8938. This is applicable to US citizens and residents. FBAR must be filed in case they have more than $10,000 outside of USA, and FATCA must be filed if they have more than $50,000 outside of USA. Then extensions. Extensions, we looked at what if the taxpayer is in the USA, it gets 6 months, and extension is only for filing the return and not for paying the taxes. So any due dates, any tax dues must be paid, on or before the due date. Next, for the taxpayer who is outside the USA, in case he has his main place of business, or is serving in the military, or something like that, armed force or something, then he gets automatic 2 months extension. And the taxpayer is in combat zone. I think we came up with a table there. Regular due days, 180 days from the last day the soldier or the taxpayer was in the combat zone, and extended due date is 3.5 months from the first day the person was in the combat zone. Then we went on to learn about, just help me in case I am not going fine, okay. And penalties is going to be of two types: failure to file penalty and then failure to pay penalty. Failure to file penalty also we had a table, okay, 5% per month, and then failure to pay penalty 0.5% per month, and then both are going to be the max is going to be 25%. And then what did we write? Extension is only for filing, that's not for payment. I think we wrote that. And in failure to pay penalty, we wrote that in case the extension is taken within the due date, all the taxes are paid, at least 90% of the taxes are paid, then and the extension form 4868 is filed within the due date, then this penalty can be avoided. And also in any situation where both the penalties are involved, then that penalty must be reduced from this penalty. Then we went on to learn about the filing status, okay, filing status. So people who have just joined or who are watching us from here in the live session, okay, this is just a snapshot for you so that you don't feel like a non-resident in our class. So filing status is of 5 types. First one is single. You know it, okay, unmarried or divorced. Then married filing jointly. Somebody who is married and husband and wife, they both come together for filing the return. A curiosity may arise in a dirty mind. Sir, you said husband and wife. What if both are same sex? What if both are same sex? Okay. Even then, same sex marriages are also considered as marriage and they can still file a joint return. And then married filing separately. In case they do not agree, or they want to be individually responsible, or they have high incomes or something like that, then they can use MFS as the filing status. And then comes head of household, okay. Head of households, the bada bhai types who takes care of the family. You do not become the head of the family just because your father or your bada bhai or something. Only when you do your responsibilities properly, you become the head of the family. And that's what is very technically said, provide more than 50%, the dependent must stay with you for at least 6 months, and all those things, conditions are listed there. And qualifying widower with dependent child. Actually, it was with the dependent child. Now they have made it as qualifying widower. Now this is only for the 2 years, following the year of death. Only for 2 years following the year of death. Even in the year of death, one can use MFJ or MFS. That's it on the filing status. Then we went on to learn about dependents. In dependents, there are 2 types: qualifying child and then qualifying relative. Now, in order to consider somebody as qualifying child, there are 4 tests that need to be satisfied: relationship test, age test, residency test, and then support test. Okay. Now, in relationship test, I think we wrote that, right? We split it into 2: child, then brother or sister, then own, step, adopted, grand, and then foster child, right? Not foster child, foster child, okay? And then we wrote about brother and sister, own, step and half. Then age test, we said, normally it should be below 19 years. And then if he's a full-time student, he must be below 24 years. And if the person is physically or mentally challenged or differently able, then there is no age limit. Then we went on to learn about the residency test. Residency test, we said, that the person must be a US citizen or national, or he must be somebody who has stayed in US for at least 183 days. even a child who is born and dead during the year will still be considered as resident for this purposes. Then support test, the provider, parent or whosoever, the provider must have taken at least 50% of the living expenses of the child. That's it. Then comes qualifying relative. There are 4 tests that need to be satisfied. Not a qualifying child. You must make sure that the relative is not your Chintu Bunty Bubbly, right? He can be your parent or in-laws or any of your maternal or paternal relatives. And then gross income test. Gross income test, we must make sure that the income of the person is at least less than $4,200. Must be less than $4,200. And then residency test and support test are going to be the same as we discussed in qualifying child. Now here there were some important forms. A custodian parent, in case of a divorce, a custodian parent, meaning the parent who has the custody of the child can allow the non-custodian parent to claim the child, and that is done on form 8332. And in case of multiple support deduction, I think we discussed that, right? Mere paas maa hai. Yeah. If 2 brothers are taking care of the mother, then they can claim the deduction by filing form 2120. Fine. So the next chapter was number 8, Social Security number. Social Security number, here the best part about Social Security number is that it confers Social Security benefits. It means that, from the monthly pay, every month the FICA taxes are deducted. FICA taxes are nothing but Social Security taxes and then Medicare taxes. All these taxes, together are deposited in the Social Security benefits account with the Social Security Administration, and this is paid to the person at the end of his retirement, death or disability, whichever is earlier. And SSN is a 9-digit number and it does not begin with 9. Okay, that is what we learned on SSN, and the application is made on form SS5. And then we went on to learn about individual taxpayer identification number, ITIN. And here we learned about form W7. We learned that this is also a 9-digit number, and the 4th digit is either 7 or 8 or 9. And this is primarily for the people who do not have SSN, who are not in employment. Could be a non-working spouse. I hate saying non-working, you know that. Non-working spouse or non-earning dependents. Could be the kids, the qualifying child, or the qualifying relative. Okay. And I think I encouraged you to watch that video on YouTube or on the Facebook about the things you need to know about the ITIN. I hope and believe that you have watched that video. So all the very best. Then we went on to learn about the residential status. In residential status, we said that an individual is categorized into 2, either a citizen or national or an alien. And alien is again subclassified into 3. Resident alien, non-resident alien, and then dual status alien. And in resident alien, we said that the word resident has 8 letters and there are 8 situations in which a person can be treated as resident. So let's look at this one by one. The first one is green card holder. Anybody who has a green card will be treated as resident. And then married to US citizen. Married to US citizen will also be treated as resident. And then somebody who is on employment visa, H1 or L1, and who has stayed in US for at least 183 days, even that person will be treated as resident. And then student visa, somebody who has been on student visa for at least 5 years, that person will also be treated as resident. And then we went on to learn about substantial presence test. Now in substantial presence test, there are 2 tests that are involved here, right? At least 31 days test and then at least 183 days test. Now at least 31 days test, what does that mean? It means that the taxpayer must be in US in the current year for at least 31 days, and that need not be in a row. And then comes at least 183 days test. Now here when we are doing 183 days test, I told you SPT P, S-P-T, P, past, P, past. It takes past into consideration. So what do? The number of days the person stayed in US in the current year into 1 by 1. The number of days the person stayed in US in the previous year into 1 by 3. The number of days the person stayed in US in the previous year into 1 by 6. The subtotal of all these three must be at least 183 days. And for a person to be considered as a resident under substantial presence test, both A and B must be satisfied. Then we went on to learn about first year choice test. People thought that this was tough, but our students proved that it is very, very easy to understand. And there are only three conditions, three tests that needs to be satisfied. One, at least 31 days test. What does that mean? It means the person must be in US in current year for at least 31 days. The only thing is it must be in a row. Then we learned about SPT, FYCT. SPT for the next year, SPT for the future year, FYCT, future year, F is for future. Then at least 75% test. Then the number of days, now this is a little formula, the number of days actually present in the USA from the first day of the 31-day period. And then the denominator would be the total number of days from the first day of the period to the last day of the tax year. And that is A by B into 100. That has to be at least 75%. Next comes the non-resident spouse election, 7 and 8. Number 7 and number 8 situation wherein a person can be treated as resident. Section 6013G election and then section 6013H election. Now what is section 6013G election here? Here the TP is considered resident and spouse is considered a non-resident. If during the tax year, taxpayer, if at the end of the tax year, taxpayer was resident and spouse was a non-resident, then the resident taxpayer can choose to treat the non-resident spouse as resident. Isn't it? You remember that smiley that we put? Then we said they can file MFJ in form 1040. The only thing they have to attach a joint declaration statement. Then we went on to learn section 6013H election. In this case, if at the end of the year, both are non-residents, but because they satisfy the FYCT for the next year, they can make an election to be treated as residents for the current year and they have to file a joint declaration statement. That's all. And in case of dual status alien, I think I told you, I didn't make a slide on that. So in case of dual status alien, I think I told you that we have to file a if at the end of the year he is a resident, then you have to file a 1040 return, 1040 NR statement. But if at the end of the year he was non-resident, then you have to file a 1040 NR return and then 1040 statement. Then we went on to understand the taxation of income. In taxation of income, we said, we put that table, right? For a citizen or resident, worldwide income, the global income is taxable, and for non-resident, only the income earned in USA is taxable. And I think we took the example of Raju, Ramu, Nagendra, yeah. All these examples I think we have taken in that, yeah. We spoke about the foreign tax credit and all. Then we went on to learn about the signing of tax returns. In the signing of tax returns, we drew that table. We understood what is a form 8879. We understood that the taxpayer can have a self-select PIN, that is IP PIN, that is identity protection PIN, or he can allow the practitioner to generate the PIN using ERO, electronic return originator, and then EFIN, electronic filing identification number. That is something must for every practitioner to e-file the tax return. And then for paper filing, the paper filing situations too are very common. ITIN cases, form W7 is used. In that case, you have to paper file the return, and then 1040X also, as on today, 1040X is not officially confirmed that it can be e-filed, but the plans are that it may soon be filed. Even 1040 NR initially, it used to be paper filing, but I think just 2 or 3 years ago it was allowed e-filing. Similarly, we hope that in these pandemic times, even this becomes e-filing. It takes off so much burden. Then we went on to learn about the types of relief, injured spouse claim, and then innocent spouse relief. Injured spouse relief, if one of the spouse is not able to get her refund just because of the co-applicant, of the other spouse, past tax dues or something like that, then in that case she can make an application for injured spouse claim. And then we went on to learn about innocent spouse relief. I think I told you the story from Shivaji, right? Even our cameraman helped us on that day. In case you have underreported income, not reported your income, or if you have done something, in contravention to the guidelines, overclaimed the deductions or something like that, then you get to claim this innocent spouse relief, and these two forms are something that you can make a note of. Form 8379 for injured spouse claim and Form 8857 for innocent spouse relief. Now, with this, you are no longer an innocent person, no longer an ignorant person. I think this is the time you should be ignited and not ignorant, okay? And get started, prepare, practice and pass, and this is the end of section 1. Having said this, we will get into section number 2. Okay. Fine. So, I'm curious to know, go to menti.com. I mean, in life, what kind of incomes you need to succeed in life? और बात कर रहे हैं, जीने के लिए क्या चाहिए, क्या माध्यम है जिसके द्वारा हम कमा सकते हैं या किसी को खिला सकते हैं? What are the sources of income? Go to menti.com and use that code and please type sources of income. Roti, kapda, mutton, internet. Okay. उसके लिए क्या चाहिए भाई? वो पे करने के लिए पैसा कैसे कमाओगे? Working a job, yes. Oh, somebody typed very technical, very good. Salary, rental, other income, business income, dividends. Very good, nice. Income. What else? Interest income, good. Being a self-publisher, being a self-published author, yeah, you can say royalty, yeah. Online teaching, that's again a business or a profession. Investments, yes, good. Make it interactive, please, okay? It's already boring for me. I see you in the camera. So if you are, for those of you who are studying in early morning hours or at the middle of the night, all alone while your family members are sleeping, my hug and my pat to you, okay? All the very best. Do well. Okay, fine. Let's take a look at the incomes, okay? What does the law say about the incomes? When we look at Form 1040, we see here, this is Form 1040. For those of you who are watching us only today, see, be rest assured, people, that I try to teach class in such a way that wherever you listen from, you understand, okay? So this is 1040. 1040 is the tax return, main tax return, okay? And these are the different incomes. I think it is visible. Yeah, these are the different incomes, okay? Wages, salaries, tips. We will learn all that. Wages, salaries, tips, it means related to employment. Then tax exempt interest or taxable interest. Now tax exempt interest, taxable interest means the same. Then qualified dividends, right? Qualified dividends, ordinary dividends, then IRA distributions. Now IRA distributions means individual's retirement arrangement. Individual का retirement arrangement. Just like how we have, LIC जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी, right? Or the HDFC सर उठा के जियो. I'm sure most of you are in financial planning and then retirement planning also, you know it better than me. Pensions and annuities, all these are related to retirement income, okay? And then social security benefits. Social security benefits, I think we discussed when we did SSN. And then capital gains or losses. Capital gains or losses, any capital asset you had for at least 1 year, when you sell it after 1 year, that is treated as a capital gain or loss. Then other incomes, any other incomes you have. So this is how, an income is categorized. And then comes, it says other income from Schedule 1, line 9. Okay. So let's see what is Schedule 1. Then we have to go to earlier all this used to be in a single form. Apna Trump came and he cut off. And he divided and ruled. Yeah. Schedule 1, okay? Additional income and then adjustments to income. Now these are the different incomes here. Additional income, okay? What are these additional incomes? Taxable refunds. When you file the tax return, what happens? 3 things happen. You get a refund, or you pay taxes, or nothing happens. Employer deducts only how much you have to pay. That is called effective tax planning, right? TDS is equal to tax liability. Now, in case you get refund, that is also taxable. Of course, federal tax refunds are exempt, okay, except in a state of Iowa. Anyway, state taxes we are not going to discuss because enrolled agent examination is only about federal taxes, okay. So, practically federal taxes are exempt. And then comes alimony received. Alimony means any amount that you receive in the event of divorce, wherein one spouse makes payment to another. Then business income, whatever income you make from business, other gains, any other gain, any other property sold off, and then rental real estate, you know that, right? Rent from the property. Then comes royalties, like what Tulsi was saying, writing a book or singing or whatsoever. Then comes partnerships, S corporation, trust, any income, from the pass-through entities is also, the same. And then comes farm income. Means agricultural income. Agricultural income. Then comes unemployment compensation. Now in US, what happens is now, so many thousands of people. When I last saw was 600,000 people who applied for unemployment compensation in USA. Because of this pandemic things. More than, close to how many people applied? It was like 600,000 plus. Oh my God. Oh. 4.4 million Americans filed last week. Wow. Last week. This article is more than 1 month old. Wow. May 15th. April 2nd, 6.65 million people. Oh. Fortune magazine says 6.6 million people. My God. Tough times, the tough ones will prevail. It's not a dialogue. That's a statement in itself. It's a statement in itself. So I was talking in one of the T-Day sessions, and my little learning that I drew from my business mentor, Patrick Bet David. He was telling that, there are two types of leader. One is a wartime leader, and second one is a peacetime leader. Now, what peacetime leaders, let's discuss. Okay, peacetime leader is somebody who wants everything to be arranged, everything to be put in place, and then he will make a beginning. Let everything set down. Pota ma, pota panik pota. Once, let the lockdown be over. We don't know when the lockdown is going to be over. Okay, go to job. Okay, study this. Yeah, after lockdown. You have seen some useless people like that, no? Right? So these people come into those categories, right? Peacetime leaders. Now, wartime leader is somebody when there is a crisis, what best he can do. What best he can do. So let's say everything is with floods, at least the neighbor's child, at least, the somebody who is right next to his door, at least he will try to save that person. Similarly, even in the company also, whether the company is drowning or whatsoever. I felt very sad watching that video, wherein a drunkard is lifting up our economy. Drinking is not bad. I am not opposed to it. If that is your habit, go ahead and do it. But a great nation like India should not be lifted up by a drunkard, is what I feel. ఏమంటారు? ఒక తాగుబోతుడు మన దేశాన్ని నిలబెడుతున్నాడు అని అంటే అది మనకు సిగ్గుచేటు. It's a shame on us if a drunkard is reviving our Indian economy. Our Indian economy must be revived by the educated and responsible citizens of this nation, by a responsible member of the family, not by a drunkard. So I urge you today, as your teacher and as your coach, that you should be responsible in your family, in your workplace, and in whatever that you have taken up. It should not be fancy, or it should not be a force that somebody propelled you to do it. If you have taken it up, finish it. And I would love to enjoy and be part of that part of success in your life. Be responsible. Okay, coming back. So many unemployment applications. We hope and pray that, things will revive. So these are the different incomes, that we see on the form 1040. And we have seen the other incomes also. Wages, interest, dividend, IRA, pension, social security benefits, capital gain, other income. And then comes refund, alimony, business income, other gains, rental income, farm income, unemployment compensation, and more. Okay, we will learn all this, step by step. So we will go to a fresh page. Okay, leave one page after section 1, because when you are doing MCQs, in case you get any new point, abba sir chappale, sir nahi bole, nahi bataye, okay, do not panic. We have covered as much as possible. In case you see something was missing, please make a note of that. We give you MCQs, so much so that it is tough for you to fail. It is tough for you to fail. Practice it twice. Read the theory properly. See, don't try to memorize anything. Let me tell you, even I don't memorize. If I don't have these things before me, you ask me what is schedule 1, line number 8, line number 12, 13, and all. I mean, not needed. Go to Google, the form is right here, you are able to see. Why should I remember? My phone has all the people that I need. The numbers are there, but why should I remember all the people's phone numbers? Why should I waste my memory on that? Who is going to give me a certificate for that? And what is the use of that certificate? What is relevant? Let us try to study that. Be proud that you are studying something which is relevant for the industry, relevant for the workplace, relevant for the market now. మంచి చదువుతున్నారు మీరు. యు ఆర్ రియల్లీ స్టడింగ్. బోత్ अच्छी पढ़ाई कर रहे हो आप. The course that you have selected also, not that you have enrolled in I-Lead. The course that you have selected, it's a license. It's a license. Be encouraged. Okay. And having said this, let's go ahead. Fine. So go to a fresh page. Put the heading section 2. Section 2. Section 2. Incomes. Section 2, incomes. Section 2, incomes. Okay. Chapter 1, section 2. Okay. Heading, main heading is section 2. Now we are doing section 2, just like how we did section 1, and in that we did chapter. Similarly, now we are in section 2. In this chapter 1, gross income. Gross income. Okay. So now gross income. Okay. So all these incomes that we have learned, we'll just try to write. Okay. So now in gross income, what we will try to write is chapter 1, gross income. Okay. In that question is, we can say, what incomes are taxable? Okay. Question number 1, chapter 1, question number 1. What incomes are taxable? Or what comes in gross income? Anything? What is gross income? What is gross income? What incomes are taxable, or what is gross income? Anything is the same. Okay, let's write in that points. Let's write numbers in that. Okay, numbers in that, or alphabets also. Okay. Wages, salaries, and tips. Wages, salaries, and tips. Wages, salaries, and tips. We wrote the table also in this chapter, right? Earlier. Okay, no problem. Fine. Wages, salaries, and tips. Next. Okay, let me show you the source document also for this. I'll give you a table separately. Or let's write off first. Okay, let's write off all the incomes, and then we will try to know the source documents. For salary here also in India, what happens? You get the salary, you get the pay stub, it gets credited in the bank. Again, at the end of the year, what happens? You get Form 16. Okay, the same thing happens here also. 1. Wages, salaries, and tips. 2. Interest income. 2. Interest income. 3. Dividend income. Interest income, then dividend income. Next, IRAs, pensions, and annuities. IRAs. We will be doing a separate chapter, individual retirement arrangement. As of now, you just write IRAs. IRAs, pensions, and then annuities. IRA, pension, and then annuities. Next, social security benefits. Social security benefits. I'll explain all of this to you. Social security benefits. Social security benefits. Then, state and local tax refunds. State and local tax refunds. Okay, let's write capital gain also. Capital gains. Next, you write business income. Business income. Business income. Alimony. 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 Other gains. Other gains. Rents, royalties. Rents, royalties. Next, income from pass-through entities. Income from pass-through, THROUGH. Income from pass-through entity. Pass-through entities, I think I told you, right? SPL, brackets you write SPL. Income from pass-through entities. SPL, S corporation, partnerships, and then limited liability companies. More than, multiple member LLC. Next comes farm income. Farm income. Next is unemployment compensation. Unemployment compensation. Next comes other income. Other income, commissions. Next one is commissions. Income from estates or trusts. Income from estates or trusts. Next, income received by legal heir. Income received by legal heir. When does somebody receive, when does the legal heir receive the income? Only when the main person is gone, right? Next, gifts. Gifts. Next, illegal or unlawful income. Illegal or unlawful income. I mean, किसी को मारने के लिए भी तुम पैसे लो, इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट से पे टैक्स ऑन दैट. सुपारी लिए ना, कोका लिए ना, टैक्स पे करो उसमें. I mean, judging whether it is a crime or not, that comes in the jurisdiction of Indian Penal Code, not the income tax department. This will say, black laundering, money laundering, ये black money and all जो भी है, उस पे भी तुम tax pay करो. Next, gambling, speculation incomes, gambling or lotteries or casino or horse races. Gambling or lotteries or casinos. Casino. You remember that game CASINO, for those of you who do not know. Casino games, this one. You must have seen in the movies, casinos. Then horse races. Horse races. Horse races. Next is hobby income. Next is hobby income. Hobby income. Like photography, stamp collecting, coins collecting, painting. Hobby. As long as it is not a profession. Profession is different. If you are a painter or an artist, photographer, videographer, that's a profession. But if you are just doing it as a hobby, that's different. Yeah, hobby income. So 23, we. Right? Very good. I'll just read it once again. Wages, salaries and tip, interest income, dividend income, IRS pensions and annuity, social security benefits, state and local tax refunds, capital gains, business income, alimony, other gains, rents, royalties, income from pass-through entities, farm income, unemployment compensation, other income, commissions, income from estate or trust, income received by legal heir, gifts, illegal or unlawful income, then gambling or lotteries or casino or horse races, and then hobby income. So 22. Yeah. So these are the different types of incomes that is available for the mankind, and we thought we survive only on salary. Every time you feel hopeless, see that there are so many income opportunities here. Now, just you take salary, there are so many companies. That video, that I asked you to watch, so many opportunities. Yeah, things will get better after the lockdown. Companies will open, but whom will they give the first preference to, or whom will they stop letting go? Only the one who is talented, one who is able, one who is hardworking, one who is productive, one who is able to bear fruits amidst famine. Fruits amidst famine. Okay. Oh, what is that movie I used to watch? There was that. What is that movie? Aati Kya Kandala antaru chudu Amir Khan. Ee movie ma? What is that movie? There used to be a movie, and Gulam, I guess. Yeah. In this movie, Amir Khan's dad, he tells a dialogue, लहरों में तो कोई भी तैर सकता है. You just watch that, okay? लहरों में तो कोई भी तैर सकता है, लेकिन असली इंसान वो है जो उन लहरों को चीरते हुए आगे बढ़ता है. I love that dialogue. Maybe you were watching Rani Mukherjee and Aarti Kya Kandala, but besides that, I watched that also, and I just liked it. लहरों में तो कोई भी तैर सकता है, लेकिन असली इंसान वो है जो उन लहरों को चीरते हुए आगे निकलता है. So all the very best. Enjoy the 10 minutes break, okay, 10-15 minutes, and we will resume. And we will start with wage income, okay? Fine. So we learned what is gross income. Okay, to that gross income, I would also request you to add the following, okay, some other incomes also. Please add it there. If the alphabets exhaust, don't get me wrong, okay? Some more incomes. Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies or bitcoins, BITCOINS, bitcoins or virtual currencies. We will add these also. ये भी add कर लिए तो अच्छा है. Then cancelled debts. Cancelled debts. Scholarships and grants. Scholarships and grants. Court or government awards. कभी कभी देते हैं ना bravery award, yeah. That may be exempt, but it should be reported in the tax return. Then barter income. Barter income. Barter income. What do you mean by barter income? It's like, let's say these premises, okay? I pay rent for this, okay? Now let's say that rent is equal to the fees for EA training. Then the landlord says, Babu, you don't pay me rent for 1 month. Let my daughter study EA. Okay, uncle, fine. So did he receive the rent? Yes. Did I get the fees? Yes. That is barter income. Next, jury duty pay. Jury, Jury. Jury duty pay. Okay. Abdul Halim. Sir, there is no state taxes in individual taxes. I heard that it's very important for practical work because people will work in 2-3 states and all states income need to report in every state. Sahi sune aap, correct? Practically, state tax knowledge is also important. But for EA examination, we will be discussing only on federal taxes. We have something called as real-time preparation. तो वो रियल टाइम प्रिपरेशन में आप सीखेंगे 1040 कैसे बनाना. अभी 1040 क्या है is what we are learning now. Now how to prepare a 1040. So when we teach you 1040, we will also teach you the different case scenarios. If the person is in 2 states, 3 states, कैसा रहता, क्या है. Okay, so all that you will be learning in real time, not in these sessions. Because यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन भी नहीं आता है एग्जाम में. बोलो कैलिफोर्निया में कितना टैक्स रेट है, वो द टोपोग्राफी आल्सो नो वन विल आस्क यू इज दिस अ टैक्स फ्री स्टेट. नो वन इज गोइंग टू आस्क यू. ओके, I think you can share the image. Somebody ping, can you? I said barter income. The incomes are court or government awards, barter income, and then jury duty pay. Saujanya. Okay. Cool. So those were the income lists, people. Now we will go to the next one. Okay, now I'll show you something. Okay, before I show you on, okay, no problem. Let's see this. I think I showed you this W2. Did I show them the W2 form? Okay. Okay, this is W2. W2. Wage and tax statement. Wage and tax statement. Okay, so if you see here, you can also watch on your system or laptop. Okay, now see, let's try to understand these boxes. Okay, boxes. Employee social security number. Let's say you are the employee. Okay, so your social security number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then comes employer identification number. You as the employee will have social security number. Employer will have employer identification number. Employer. So let's say 27. This is also 9 digits. But 2 and 7. This is how it will be. Then comes employer's name and address. So let's say I lead tax LLC. Then employee's first name and initial, last name. Okay, employee, we will say Deepti. Okay, so these are the 5 boxes. Then employee, state, employee address and zip code, address and all, employer's address and all. Okay, the 6 boxes are clear. Employee social security number, zoom jema. Employee social security number, employer identification number, employer name, address and zip code, control number, God promise, even I don't know. Employee's first name and initial, and then employee's address and then zip code. So next, now comes boxes 1 to 20. Okay, ध्यान से सुनना जरा. Wages, tips, other compensation. Wages. Okay. Now let's say 100,000 is the wages. I told you, no, we should not say lakh. Lakh nahi bolna. $100,000. $100,000. Now let's assume he is in 10% bracket अनुकुना. सोचेंगे कि ये 10% bracket में है, तो क्या करेंगे? 10,000 इस पे 10,000. I just assume for ease of maths. Okay, those who have enrolled for payroll tax course, payroll taxation, they will know better. You know how these things are calculated. But for us, this is enough. Okay, $10,000. Now, Social Security wages, 100,000. Okay. Now, watch this carefully. This, the next box that you see, the Social Security taxes, this is going to be 6.2% of box 3. यानी इस पे, ये इस पे था. Okay. Box 2 was on box 1. Box 4 is on box 3. How much? 6.2% of box 3. यानी कितना? 6,200. Is this clear? इसी को Social Security taxes बोलते. Now, coming to Medicare wages, 100,000. Okay. Now, this is going to be 1.45% of box 5. यानी इस पे कितना? 1.45 यानी 1,450. समझ गए भाई? परसेंटेज है बस. 6.2% इस पे. Box 4 is 6.2% of box 3. Box 6 is 1.45% of box 5. तो ये याद रख लेना. नहीं तो in notes also, if you want, you can just put the boxes. Box 1 ऐसा, you know, ऐसा डाल सकते हैं आप डब्बा. Box 1, you know, box 3, box 5, box 2, box 4, and then box 6. So this is like, you know, 6.2%. This is like 1.45%. That 10%, that was just an example. Main is this 6.2% and then 1.45%. Okay. Now next आता देखो Social Security tips, allocated tips. Somebody who is in restaurant business. So if any of our clients are watching us from US, I miss the cheesecake factory. I love it. So tips, the tip income. Okay. And then comes dependent care benefits. Dependent care benefits. Okay. Dependent care benefits in the sense, you know, in case you have kids, you have your parents or your in-laws or anybody, you know, whom you are taking care, and the employer is giving you dependent care. Okay. Now let's say I mean, there are many single mothers, right? They couldn't survive their marriage and they brought the son or daughter, you know, facing all the challenges of the life. Let's say son. Okay. So the son grew up, now mother is old, mother needs attention, medical attention and all, and son is a meritorious student because of his hard work and mother's love, care, support, encouragement and all. Now son gets a wonderful job. Bill Gates is impressed. His IT wizard, Bill Gates is impressed, and Bill Gates offers him a job. Story. And it is true also with some people. My story, what I'm telling you now, has been true in some people's life. So the employer says, you know, you are selected, congratulations, this is your salary, $100,000 as a fresher. Welcome to Microsoft. But Our hero says, no, my mom is important for me. I cannot leave her, and it will be difficult for her. If I go to office, who will take care of me? At least here, my uncle, aunt, I live with joint family here. There's somebody to take care. So Mr. Gates says, don't worry. That shouldn't be a concern at all. You just come to office, and as much as possible, I'll try to give you work from home also, given these pandemic times. And even after that also, she will settle down, and we will arrange a medical attendant also for your mom, or some housekeeping or caretaker for your mom, who will be with your mom 24 hours. And we will put the CCTV cameras so that you can see your mom all the time when you're working. We will put the video conferencing facility. You can talk to her, in the break time, sip coffee along with her. Don't you think he's a wonderful employer? I wish, all the employers were wonderful human beings also. We are trying to be one. I believe we are one. Anyways, so any expenses, that the employer is incurring for the care of his employees, that is called dependent care benefit. Dependent care benefit. So that is one example. Now the second example is like husband and wife. Both are amazing performers, okay, and they have skyrocketed the business in the company, and now they are blessed with a chintu. With a chintu. Okay, 1 year wife has been at home and was taking care of the child. Okay, they thought 1 more year. Employer was thinking, 1 more year. Once it's 2 years, she'll come back to work. And she says, it's US, we cannot hire nanny and all. There's nobody to take care. So employer says, say it's a 8-hour or 9-hour job, 9 hours job. So even if you're putting him or her in preschool, let's say, okay, so 2.5 years or 3 years, okay, ideal age to put in a nursery or whatever, kindergarten, play school, jo bhi bolo to. Anyways, putting in that, we will arrange a nanny or somebody, to take care of the baby. Aap aa jaiye. At the end of the day, you are working for your kid's future. Even now, as you are sitting and studying, you are either doing it for your parent, for your spouse, or for your kid. Yeah. Or to prove that idiot who said you cannot do anything. You are like this. You will never achieve. This is your fate. Right? You have to prove that idiot that you are not that. You should say, I do it. Idiot, I do it. Okay. So whatever employer pays to that person, that is called dependent care benefits. So let's say dependent care benefits are some $5,000. Then comes non-qualified plans, 12, box number 12 is reimbursements, then statutory employee retirement plan, third party sick pay. In this statutory employee, not that important, but statutory employee, we can say like somebody who is appointed only for a particular purpose. I mean, he will work only for that company, and it is mainly applicable, to the car drivers and all that. But not that important here. Now, retirement plan, I will tell you. Retirement plan, see, employer will also be caring for his employees. So, just like, PF or whatsoever, how we have here. Similarly, in US also, you have something called as 401k. What is that? 401k. 401k retirement. Can you refresh that? 401k retirement plans. Okay, so wherein the contribution is made by the employer as well as the employee. Both make the contributions. And that is for the retirement. And when you retire, disease or death, disabled, that time you can take the money, 401k. So that is this retirement plan. Okay. Then comes third party sick pay. It's like employer taking some insurance is taking the insurance, and people who work in these coal mines, right? Pharmaceutical companies, or people who make thermals, or pharmaceutical items, or bulbs, electricity, electrical equipments also. That factory and all, it's going to be completely different. So the kind of vapor that they inhale is not good for them and all. I mean, yeah, people who work in mines or in the pharmaceutical companies, wherein the research R&D is more, they will know it better. Okay, they have a different dress code, uniform, whatsoever. Okay, so those people, in case they get sick, then a third party pays them the pay, right? That is called third party paying the pay when the person is sick, right? Third party sick pay. Then box 12, it has some codes. I will show you those codes. Okay, like you get the stock options from the employer, and in case you are relocating from one location to another, employer gives you some allowances. Yeah, all those things will come in box number 12. And then 13 is okay, retirement plan, third party sick pay. 14 is other income, any foreign income or whatsoever. So 1 to 14 is this, guys. Yeah, just take a look. Take a look at the form, at the boxes on your phone or on your laptop, whatever. Just pull out the W2 and try to see this. And if possible, just take a snapshot of this, so that once you get your MCQs copy, these forms also, you can take a printout of these forms and try to scribble it, or just take a screenshot of this, keep it on your desktop. US taxation is a wonderful area. చదువుకోవాలి కానీ మీరు మంచిగా చాలా బాగుంటారు. बहुत अच्छा रहते हैं आप लोग. Try to achieve, excellence, not perfection in the subject. Yeah. Okay, so this is W2, and here you see these boxes 15, okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, now you see your box number 15 hai box number, right? Yahan pe we will be writing the state abbreviations. All these were federal. Okay, now here we will be writing the state abbreviations. यानी क्या है? We will write let's say CA. क्या है CA? What is CA? California. Okay, then you write the CA state ID number जो भी है, and then let's say the person was residing in 2 states. So while he was in California, he made $60,000 of income. And let's say 5% tax rate in California, so $3,000. Now, is California subject to city or county taxes? No, because KMNOP, right? You remember states which are subject to city taxes. KMNOP: Kentucky, Michigan, New York, Ohio, and then Pennsylvania. And is it subject to county taxes? No, I am Indiana, Iowa, and then Maryland. So local tax, it means city tax, and then county tax. మొత్తం బోర్డు కనిపిస్తుందమ్మా. City tax and then county tax. So this we will not have anything. CA. Okay. Sir, but box 1 is 100,000, no? Yes, right. He has worked in other state. Okay. So let's say PA. PA, Pennsylvania. Okay. So there he worked, and in that state he earned 40,000. Let's say 5% tax, 2,000. Now, is PA subject to local taxes? What type of local tax? CT. Very good. Okay. KMNOP. P is that. Let's say Philadelphia. Yeah. Now, 40,000. Normally, 1% tax will be there. So let's say $400. And here in locality name we say Philadelphia, Philly. Okay. Box 1 to box number 20. Go through once, aram se. Take a screenshot if possible. Try to hypnotize the form. Yeah. Okay. So can I take this off? Can I take this off? Now, see this W2 is of 3 types. W2 is of 3 types. Three types of W2. Okay. One, don't write anything. First listen. Regular W2. Next, you have corrected W2. And then you have substitute W2. Okay, na? Now, regular W2 and same form W2, what we just saw. Now, corrected W2, I'll show you that form. That is form W2C. Now, let's say somebody made a mistake. Okay, instead of Nanda Kumar, he put Nanda Gopal, let's say Nanda Kishore. Or instead of 100,000, he put 120,000, 140,000, something like that. Glass 140,000, and some mistakes here and there. A name is incorrect, address is incorrect, or some numbers are incorrect. All those things. So form W2, form W2C, and then substitute W2. Form 4852. Okay, see, generally the due dates by which all these W2s must be issued is Jan 31st. I mean, this is also immediately. I mean, whenever the request is made, I would say immediately or shortly. Okay. Now, that I'll tell you. See, when you request the employer should try to give you as immediate as possible. Okay. So now substitute W2. Let me tell you the story. So now, because the tax year is Jan to December, okay, now we are doing December, 2019 taxes, right? So Jan 1st to December 31st, 2019. Okay, this is the tax year. Now, when do you expect the W2? By Jan 31st, 2020. Now, what is Jan month? I mean, for festivals, what is the month of Jan famous for, especially in South India? Yeah, harvest time, Sankranti, right? Pongal time. And Pongal, kids, what is famous? Right? Right? Kites. Now, let's say your Chintu was asking you, Daddy, kites. And then you say, no, I'm not going to buy the kites. No. Monday, somebody, fell off from the terrace, and somebody, that manja cut the fingers. All, dads, how they say. Even my dad was also like that. And go, first complete your homework, then do, all these things. And Bichara, he has been requesting, day one from Bogi time, he is requesting Bogi, Sankranti, Makar Sankranti, then Mat Pongal, all that. Jallikat today, this fellow decided, no, today I'm not going to leave. What is that dialogue? Super 30. आपत्ति में आविष्कार पैदा होता है, right? So he sees the W2 there. Daddy's W2 is in the file. That's the only paper he sees. And he takes the W2 neatly. He goes to bathroom, take the proper sticks from the broomstick, and he makes a decent kite. Own creativity. My brother used to make kites for us, so I'm sure some of you watching must have made the kites in the childhood. And if you have not flown a kite anytime, boy or girl, okay, boy, maybe your childhood was not that great. You should participate, especially 80s, 90s generation. All those games, the marbles, gilli danda, the cricket, kites, all these were like fancy. So if you have not played them, I feel so sorry for you. So this Chintu, he has started flying the kites, and Patang abhi ghai. Manja lega. Daddy didn't buy manja, no. Bichara, he was happy making a kite, and it flew also, with the machine. घर पे मम्मी वो बटन ये वो सिलने के लिए लगाते ना धागा घर पे, तो उसमें बना लिया बच्चा अभी. He used all the Fevicol, and all properly. He made the kite. He flew the kite with the, that regular thread, that we used to stitch buttons and all. And koi painch dal diya, gai khatam. Now, Dad is wondering where is W2. He cannot ask the employer for corrected W2 also. क्या बोलता अभी जाके, W2 is such an important thing. You cannot save the W2. How will you save the company under उनको employer? Employer ऐसा बोल दिया समझो. You cannot save the W2. How can you save the company? He is afraid. He don't want to go to employer, ask for a new copy. But actually, you can go to employer and ask for a new copy of W2. That is always there. Now, in case employer says, or this incident happened, after the person left the company. Stories, scenarios. Okay, after the person left the company, this scenario happened, and जब छोड़ दिया कंपनी, बॉस को दे दिया पूरा, तुम ऐसा कंपनी है, तुम फालतू कंपनी है, ये वो धड़ल. Okay, all this he has given to the boss. Now with what face he will go and ask for W2? So he doesn't want to go. So then what the law says is, in that case, you can prepare your own W2. That is called substitute W2. Now how do we prepare our own W2? It is possible with the help of, every month you get the salary credit, right? You must have got the pay slips and all. So all the deductions and all. So using your pay slips, using the credits that happened in your bank statement, using that, you will be able to prepare a substitute W2 on form 485. Is this clear? Okay. So this we will write self-prepare. Can you please drop this chart? Yeah. W2 3 times. Zoom jema kuch. W2 3 times. Regular, corrected, substitute. Next, number 2. Chapter number 1 was gross income. Now, chapter 2, you say wage income. Chapter 2, wage income. Chapter 1 was gross income, and we listed all the different types of gross incomes there. Now, chapter 2 is wage income. Now, wage income, you please write W2, and then I think you wrote that Social Security, Medicare thing also, local tax also. Yeah. Now, please write this.
Okay, Krishna. Krishna pinged wage income is 60 plus 40 is equal to 100K, but
Taxes also needs to match. No, ma, not necessary, because they are federal taxes. There are three types of taxes here on the W2. Also, there are three types of taxes. What are the taxes? Three, or we can say five types of taxes. Actually, five types of taxes. What are they? What are the five types of taxes that you see? Okay, let me write here. Okay, federal, right? You see the federal tax, then you see the social security tax, you see the Medicare tax, you see the state tax, and then you see the local tax. ఇన్ని ట్యాక్సులు కడతారు కాబట్టి ఆ దేశం అంత బాగుంది. ఇట్లా ట్యాక్స్ बढ़ते इसलिए वो देश इतना अच्छा है. अपने पास इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल के लिए आए तो भी मारते थोड़े जगह में, राइट? एनीवेज, फिर भी मेरा भारत महान. Now, federal tax, social security tax. Now, federal tax is something that is administered by the IRS. Yeah, that is administered. అంటే చూసుకునేది ఎవరు? It is under the authority of IRS, federal tax. Okay. Now, this is by the IRS. Now, social security and Medicare tax, this is administered by SSA, Social Security Administration. And then state tax by the concerned state only, respective state. And then local tax again by the locality of that particular state or school district, or whatever. So all are different. They may not match. Okay, I believe you understood. Yeah, because I am always getting believe, so no hopes that you have not understood. So I believe that you understood. Okay, are you enjoying the learning? Are you enjoying the learning? Yeah. Maybe you are so much enjoying that I can feel you right before me. I am able to empathize. Okay. Now, Acha, we will just come here and just try to type what all can somebody receive from the employer? Sir, తిట్లు ఉంటాయి సార్. ताने पड़ते सर रोज, हम ताने सुनते ताने सुनते, तारे भी देखते आप. बट व्हाट ऑल इमोल्यूमेंट्स, कॉम्पनसेशन के हिसाब से एम्प्लॉयर से क्या क्या लेते हैं आप? व्हाट ऑल डू यू रिसीव इन इमोल्यूमेंट्स और इन कॉम्पनसेशन, whatsoever? Okay, please type. Okay, shares. जीతం होता अब्बा, तनको नहीं चाहिए. सैलरी राले सैलरी వద్దనుకున్నాను. shares, bonuses, commission, okay, share in profits, very good. Hikes, bonuses, incentives, wonderful. Retirement benefits, insurance, reimbursements, very good. Hourly commission, na babe. Hourly commission, very nice. आलोचिंचना भाई, एम्प्लॉयर ఏమి ఇస్తాడు, क्या देता भाई एम्प्लॉयर से क्या क्या ले सकते हैं, सोचो. ఇక్కడ ఆగిపోయినా మీ మైండ్? కన్వీనియన్స్, ఫుడ్, అలవెన్స్ మీద పడ్డారా? ఓకే. పార్టీస్, కంపెనీ అవుటింగ్స్, రైట్, గుడ్, ఎస్, వెరీ గుడ్. పిల్లలు ముంగట్టు ఉంటే రప్ప రప్ప వచ్చే రెస్పాన్స్. Anyways, maybe your thought process just stopped by these things. Okay, maybe even you didn't expect, in gross income we will write so many more pairasa. We wrote almost like some 30, 28 something. Okay. So alphabets are also exhausted. Yeah, we have so many options, in the gross income also. Tips, yeah, yearly travel expense reimbursement, yeah, leave. Leave it. Good. Chalo, I'll tell you, what all comes in W2. I mean, what all will be considered as income from employment. Income from employment is not just restricted to salaries. Okay, वो छोड़ के बहुत सारे हैं income from employment. Okay, तो promotions, good, promotions, dependent care benefit, on time salary, very good, nice, very good. Holiday compensation, nice. Okay, so all these come from employer. Whatever you have typed in, make a Bahubali promise that once I become employer, I will give all this to my employees. चेन लैपटॉप में जेब बैठे, हाथ रखना सिस्टम पे या मोबाइल पे, बोलना कि God make me ये, and once I succeed and once I become an employer, I will give all this to my employees. God gives things only to those persons who can give to others. WhatsApp status girl, that's a fact. That's a fact. ఎవరి దగ్గర ఉందో వాళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచే మనం పొందుకోగలం. जिसके पास है उसी के पास से अपन ले सकते. You have a problem, you need some 10,000 now. Whom will you call? जिसके पास पॉकेट भी है, पॉकेट है, और वो पॉकेट के पीछे जरा दिल भी है, right? So only that person will come to your mind. तो आपके पास दिल दिमाग सलामत रखें आप, और दुनिया आपकी मुट्ठी में रहे. ओके, सो ऑल द बेस्ट. आमीन बोल लेना. चलो, लेट्स राइट. पुट द हेडिंग इनकम फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयमेंट. Income from employment. So let's try to list, what are the different incomes that we get from employment. No, the same in this chapter 1. Chapter 2, wage income only. In that, wage income means what? Income from employment. Okay. So put the heading income from employment. So in income from employment, we will write the points. Okay. Points. क्या क्या आ सकता है income from employment, from employer? Okay, what all can we get? First one, wages. Wages or salaries. First one is wages or salaries. Next one, bonus. Next point. Okay, points के हिसाब से लिखना. Okay, first one wages and salaries. Next one है zoom also, just cover both of us. Wages and salaries. Next one you write bonus, incentives or commissions. Bonus, incentives or commissions. Next, employee benefits or fringe benefits. Employee benefits or fringe benefits. Fringe, F-R-I-N-G-E. Even in your BCom, you must have learned perquisites, right? And they give car, house, and furnished accommodation they give. Or you can write employee benefits, fringe benefits, or you write de minimis. De minimis. Okay, D-E-M-I-N-I-M-I-S. De minimis. Okay. Now, next one we will write parking allowance. Parking allowance. Parking allowance. Now, in some companies, that is, I mean, if you take the what do you call taking the office outside? I mean, renting a workstation, or I mean, a virtual office or something like that. Co-working space. You know, you're trying to take a co-working space outside. I mean, for that space, you have to pay the rent, and on top of that co-working space, even for the parking also they will charge you. You have a two-wheeler, for the parking cost will be different. Then you have a four-wheeler, the parking cost will be different. Or if you have a Harley or a Triumph, you cannot keep it in the two-wheeler thing, right? You can take, I mean, I have seen that, yeah. So people will take at least a chota car, smart car, utna parking space, and they will park the bike there. Okay, so something like that. So next one is parking allowance. Okay, brackets you write in green color. I would say please write in green color. Up to parking allowance mein brackets you write up to $265 per month. Up to $265 per month. Regular color is exempt. Is exempt. $265 per month is exempt. Next. Next one we will write. Next, prizes or rewards or awards. Prizes or rewards or awards and recognition. Prizes or rewards or awards or recognition. Prizes or rewards. Prizes, not prices. Prizes. Prizes or rewards or awards or recognition. अब इसमें 2 बुलेट पॉइंट्स लगाओ. इसमें 2 सब बुलेट पॉइंट्स लिखो. Prizes or rewards or awards or recognition. Now in this you have 2 sub bullet points. Okay. The first sub bullet point you write. अभी एम्प्लॉयर अवार्ड देने के बाद अभी उसमें भी टैक्स है बोले तो जरा दर्द होता ना. तो व्हाट द लॉ सेज हियर इज exempt first point, first sub bullet point, please write exempt green color up to $1,600. These amounts are important, boys. Okay, girls, amounts are important. Okay, गुर्तुपेट्टुकोवाली, याद रख लेना. Only until the time you pass the examination. बाद में जय Google. Okay, so exempt up to green color $1,600. Regular color for again green color. Qualified plans. Now, next one. Next sub bullet point. Exempt up to red color में you write $400. Regular color for again red color non-qualified plans. See, sometimes company may say, you get this much sales, this much revenue, this is going to be the bonus. Now, not everyone can be in sales, okay? Now, you may be somebody who is excellent in research work, or you may be somebody who is excellent in designing work, in presentation, MIS reporting. You may be somebody who is wonderful in building the CRM, monitoring the website traffic, or somebody who is excellent in digital marketing and all. Yeah, I mean, each one has their own strengths. Somebody may be a crowd puller. You are doing an event and you talk, people will come. We used to do events in colleges and all. I mean, we had team, we used to talk and they used to come. Crowd pullers, they can get the attention easily. I mean, each one in the team, has their own strengths. Everybody was not Bhim in Pandavas, Bhima, and everybody was not Arjuna also. Yeah, everybody had their own strengths, weaknesses, and all. So that's how we went here also. Okay, qualified plan could be for different. Now, non-qualified plan will be different. Okay, but for each one of them, there must be a reward based on the KRAs that they set. Right? Next, allowances. Next, main point. Allowances. food, housing, brackets you write food, housing, etc. Allowances, food, housing, etc. Next. See, whether you are an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur, I mean, some practicing chartered accountants are also there. People who are CPAs also who are watching us, or freshers or whosoever. We believe in Jesus, okay? In Christianity, there's something called as tithe. Tithe. So what it means is 10% of your income you're supposed to give to God, godly purposes, or godly priests and all. 10%. So now what I also tell to my students, even in Islam also, when they slaughter the goat, Bakrid ke time pe, a good Muslim or person who abides by the law that's put in Quran and all, he's supposed to give. He's supposed to share that meat. Share the meat, okay? You are supposed to share. You cannot keep it yourself. Even in our Indian festivals also, when you do, good old days, yeah? Pindivantalu, all those homemade dishes that you do, you don't keep it for yourself. You give it to your relatives, you give it to your friends, you give it to your neighbors. Now, everything is, ready-made. They're not doing at home, and given the busy schedule and all, everybody is occupied. But mother times or grandmother times, people used to prepare everything in-house and they used to share, okay? So the point that I was trying to make is coming back to tithes, okay? So 10% we invest, every month we are supposed to give to God, okay, or for godly purposes. I say that every year 10% of your income must go to your education. Leaders are readers. Enter. Leaders are readers. You want to earn, then you have to learn. When slogans go, they're real. Person like Bill Gates, if he's reading 50 books in a year, who are we? Warren Buffett. 5-6 hours he will just study under. Warren Buffett. They're all old. We never know, when God can call them home. But even at this age, they want to study. They want to protect what God has blessed them with. So how do we protect our intellect? How do we upgrade ourselves? So you have to spend some time all by yourself. You watch all the shit, all the wonderful entertainment. Then take time for yourself also. If you believe in God, spend time with the Creator for some time. Learn the good values that your religious faith teaches you, and try to put it in practice and bear the fruit, bear the result. So every year, as an iLead Academy alumni and as a future enrolled agent, I urge you that you should spend at least 10% of your annual income every year on education. Keep improving. There are so many things that keep coming every year. Dinto na kem labam, isse mere ko kya aata, job milta kya, वो आता आ जाता यार वो खुदा मेहरबान तो गधा भी पहलवान, राइट? तुम सीखो पहले. You learn the work wherever you are putting your money, mind. Make sure that you learn the art, learn the work properly, and then try to practice that, demonstrate that work at your workplace, that learning at your workplace, and the results will come. Keep learning. Don't stop learning. So take an oath that every year 10% of my income. Sir, now no income. That's an excuse, okay? We got income from you even in this lockdown. Yes, it's an opportunity for us. Yeah, we have opportunities. So you can also create opportunities for yourself. Okay, just keep doing what you are doing faithfully, and rest all God will take care. So next point is education program assistance. Education program assistance. Brackets you write up to dollar green color will write $5,250. $5,250. Regular color is exempt. Is exempt. And as an employer also, just make sure that you are training your people. When you see that they are not they are talented but they are not getting the result, it means they are not interested in their job, or they are not interested in learning, in upgrading. They want to rest on past glory. मैं कौन हूँ मालूम, मैं कैसा करा मालूम, मैं क्या क्या करा मालूम. अगर मालूम नहीं है, कोई बोले तो मालूम चल रहा है आपके बारे में, तो आप मालूम नहीं है जनाब. कुछ करो, आप कुछ करो कि आपका नाम आपसे पहले पहुंच जाए, राइट? आपके पहले आपका नाम पहुंच जाना. So keep learning, your team, your employees, teach them. There's so many good stuff on the internet. Teach them. Okay. And personally, I would suggest spend at least 24 minutes in a day learning something or the other, something good or the other. 24 minutes in a day. कुछ तो भी सुनना. Can I tell you about the 20-20-20 rule? Did I tell them the 20-20-20 rule? Yeah. Sunna. What is this 20-20-20 rule? Okay, so I happened to go to Switzerland, Zurich, and do you know who this person is? Do you know the author of the book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari? These are Ira Tax LLC. Okay, he's the co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak. Now, where's our hero? Yeah, you know this man? Of course, it's written there. Robin S. Sharma, the writer of the book The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Speaker, excellent speaker on leadership and personal mastery. So I was one of the students of Robin Sharma in that summit, the Titan Summit in 2016. Now, there was one thing, that I learned. Now, his new book, the 5 a.m. Club, that's very, very popular. So you can buy this book, or I think you can also get an e-book, wonderful book. And if you are a busy guy, you get the book summary also. Go to YouTube, type the 5 a.m. Club summary. Okay. These are not mad people or people who just motivate. They collect money and motivate people. They have billionaires sitting in the class. Billionaires. అంటే కూర్చున్న గాడినే కంపెనీలు కొనేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. जहाँ बैठे हैं वहीं बैठ के कंपनीज खरीद लेते वो लोग. multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires and all. Okay. Now, here he taught us something called as 20-20-20 rule. Okay. In your notes, in the last page, some gyan I gave this subject eppudu undede. This gyan is important for you to become a better human being, better person, and better worksman. You are an artist created by the Lord Almighty. artist. Okay, ekkadunna dunyala ante. So we call this as 20-20-20 rule. So what he says is the first 1 hour, okay, of the day is very, very important. The very first 1 hour after you get up, that is important. Okay, so what he says is the first hour that you get up, you must exercise. It means you have to do some physical activity. Exercise అనగానే అవన్నీ కాదు. ఓకే, ఏం లేపడం కాదు. Do some physical activity wherein sweat comes from your head. I mean, ఉన్న దగ్గరనే you can run, you can do push-ups, sit-ups, right? Ab crunches, mountain climbers, squats, planks, చాలా ఉన్నాయి. బాడీ వెయిట్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ అని గూగుల్లో కొడితే మీరు you will get to see. And I think if you go to my Facebook page, I made in my personal, Nandakumar KV video section, we came up with something called as Psalms. Me and my daughter, we did this, for the few lockdown exercises. P is for push-ups or plank. S is for squats, utak baitak. A is for your ab crunches. Then L could be your leg raises or lunges also. Then M is for mountain climbers. Okay, watch that video to see what that is. Okay, and S is scissors. Okay, కాళ్ళతో ఇట్లా అనడం. So all these are some body weight exercises. Okay, ఊరికేనా ఆ సోఫాలో కూర్చొని పాప్కార్న్లు, పొటాటో చిప్స్ అంటే ఇది కూడా ఆగదు, రైట్? So it becomes difficult. So try to exercise. We can at least control. I mean, see, did our grandfather times or dad times, did they see 20-year-old, 30-year-old dying of heart attack and all? Now we see so many people die of heart attack. Exam fail aithe heart attack, love la fail aithe heart attack, boss peekeste heart attack. Cardiologists also get heart attack. Google it, you will see. My sister-in-law is also doctor in KIMS. We get to hear, so many things about all these things. So what he says is the first 20 minutes and the first 1 hour is important. This is the first 1 hour. Okay, so first 20 minutes of the day, you must exercise antaru anamata. He says exercise. First 20 minutes, no matter what, you have to exercise. Once you're fresh up and you had your little snacks, chai, jo bhi hai, then you got to go to gym or your space where you have your where you can do a little physical activity, all this whatever I have told, or your own exercises. But the point is the sweat should come from head. So when the sweat comes from head, it releases something called as BDNF, brain derived neurotropic factor. Ante your cells will be very active. You will work less time, but you will be very, very productive. Very, very productive. Another sir, Abraham Lincoln, he said, if you give me 6 hours to chop a tree, I will be sharpening my axe 4 hours అని అన్నాడు. 6 hours ఇస్తే అంట, he used to sit and sharpen the axe 4 hours అంట. పిచ్చి అనిపించదు, ఆయనకు అనిపించలే. అందుకని అబ్రహం లింకన్ అన్నాడు. Okay, so first 20 minutes you got to exercise and the sweat should come out of your head. And next 20 minutes he says learn or listen. Spend time on something wherein you listen to something that is good, you learn something good. 20 minutes. And in our childhood, when mom and dad used to get up, they used to play Venkateshwar Suprabhatam, or they used to listen to the news. All that is good. But now for our regular day, what is the daily food that we receive? The inner man, what is the inner man receiving? What is the mind man? What is the soul man receiving? What is the spirit man receiving? Even unnai. Whatever be the faith, the inner man is there. What are you feeding your inner man with? That one. Ni burra ki, ni atma ki. What are you feeding? That is important. And then the last 20 minutes, he says, plan. Journal అంటాడు అన్నమాట. Plan your day. What are you going to do today? That meeting, this meeting, that call, this email, okay, that presentation, this conversation. Eduna plan chesukoవాలి. It worked for me. I still do it. And I encourage you to do it. 20-20-20 rule. One of the, most hot sellers in the 15 million copies are sold. Okay. Anyways, as a student, nakem commission raad bhai. Meer konna konakpoina naaku farak padadu. It doesn't matter to me, but it's a wonderful book, So I very strongly recommend that you buy the book, read it, and please make, reading a habit. If you are reading some religious book of your faith, wonderful. I think all knowledge, treasures are hidden in that. But still, besides that, see, religious books, they tell us what to do, what not to do. But leaders, experts, they tell us how to do. Okay, so that was 20-20-20 rule. Chalo, we were on education program assistance, okay, up to $5,250 excluded. And then we'll just write these points and we will close. Then retirement benefits. Retirement benefits is also an income from the employer. Retirement benefits. Next, stock options. Stock options. Stock options. Stock options. Okay. See, as an employee, you must try to get salary, your bonus, incentive, profit sharing and all, and then you should also have equity in the company. As you grow, salary 10% hike, 15% hike, dantline savoddu. Your mind should not be restricted only to that. You should have a share in the revenues. Talk to your boss in such a way and be that in the company that you bring the revenue to the company. Whosoever, see, in the entire P&L account, there is only one influencer. What is that? There is only one influencer in the entire P&L account. Who is that? Sales. Rest all are overheads. P&L account, these go. Everything will be expense only sales. So whatever you do, whatever crap you do, you have to produce revenue. Family, even in your family, you got to earn income. Yeah, daddy car we want, daddy house we want, anna idi kavali, that we want everything. Where does it come from? Right? Revenue matters. Not money. Revenue matters. Wealth, not income. Wealth matters. Okay. So try to learn sales wherever you are. So when you are growing, don't just restrict to salary. Have a performance linked pay. Cheppu ni boss ki inta revenue issa 5% isara, 10% isara. Can I have a 5% stake in the revenue? Can I have a 10% stake in the revenue? Okay, if I do this the same, can I get some shares, when I retire? That's what is stock options. How do you think, the big companies like Infosys, people who are working in US taxation, don't you see people getting stock shares and all? Incentive stock options, employee stock option plan. Why do you think they give? They want to retain the employee. The talent would be handpicked by somebody. So how do you retain that employee? By giving him the right pay, the best pay that you can. Handle that fellow's ego and you keep. And if you are a productive employee and not just a talking employee, grumbling, complaining, mourning, weeping, gossiping employee, stop all those idiotic things. Less talk, more output. जो भी है దీంట్లో యూపీ పని. Output should speak. తర్వాత so employee stock options. Next, insurance. All these are income from employment, insurance, or third party sick pay, or third party sick pay. Next, compensation in case of injuries or sickness. Compensation in case of injuries or sickness. Next, dependent care benefits. Next is dependent care benefits. I think I explained what is dependent care benefits. We learned, right? Yeah. Dependent care benefits, in brackets you write in green color. In green color, please write up to $5,000 for MFJ, and red color you write $2,500 for MFS. $2,500 for MFS. Only green color. Again green color. Is exempt. Next, reimbursement for moving expense. Reimbursements for moving expenses. So, in case you get a job, let's say Gurgaon or somewhere, or PwC Kolkata, EY Bangalore, or EY Cochin, whatever, you can always negotiate. You feel that need. Big Four guy, anybody is watching here, I'm not teaching them salary negotiation, but I think the students are able, so they deserve it. So you must be able to negotiate that with your prospective employer. You must be able to ask them. And to move from Hyderabad to Gurgaon, Hyderabad to Kolkata, pette beda paata samanlani తీసుకోవాలంటే how much it will cost us, right? So you have to మాట్లాడుకోవాలి. You have to talk and negotiate that with your employer. So reimbursement for moving expenses, moving from one place to another place for work purposes. Then work expense reimbursements. Work expense reimbursements. I mean, in my articleship days, we used to have the bank audits and all. Your bank audits vachinayante pandage. It's festival for us when there's bank audits. We used to go and get all royal treatment, royal food. The bigger the bank, the nice meal we would have. After lunch, we don't feel like working on. So we used to postpone the work till 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock we used to go for lunch, so that we can log. Of course, we used to start at 9:30 to 6:30 used to be. So 45 minutes used to go in lunch only. So if my principal is watching this video, our seniors and us, we used to plan like that. Anyways, there has to be a little fun and mischief in life. Okay. Next, transportation allowance. Transportation allowance. Transportation allowance.
Next, foreign income. Foreign income. Foreign income.
I think I told you, yesterday we were discussing the scope of income and our Raju Ramu example, our Nagendra example also. This box 14, yeah, normally it has the foreign income and all.
Foreign income.
We discussed, right, for a citizen or resident, the global income will come to tax, right?
Next.
Employer provided life insurance.
Employer provided life insurance. Employer provided life insurance.
Brackets in green color. Group term. Exempt up to $50,000. Exempt up to $50,000. Next, only 3. Adoption income. Sorry, adoption assistance. Adoption assistance. I mean, sometimes, when you have workers who are very, very depressed because they don't have kids or something like that, they want to adopt somebody at least, but not able to, fund that also. But they want kid, they cannot fund that adoption also. Employer is helping adoption and assistance. That is also, counted as income. Next, scholarships. Scholarships. Employer giving scholarships also. I mean, Tatas, they give scholarships. Ambanis, they give scholarships. Then finally, ananga navoddu. Hasna nahi, okay? Tip income. Tip income. You are writing your future. ఆ నోట్స్ కన్నా అందంగా ఉండాలి మీ ఫ్యూచర్. ये नोट से भी बहुत खूबसूरत रहना आपका फ्यूचर. Yeah, fine. So we'll try to stop here today. This is what we have done for today. Gross income, then the wage income. We understood the W2 and all. And tomorrow we will continue with the wage income. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us today. All the very best. Please revise, practice properly, and remember you have to pass and become an enrolled agent. Yeah. This time is worth it. All the very best.